the mountainous central region of China. For 2 million years, these hidden valleys have been home to one of the world's most iconic animals. The giant panda. This 1-year-old cub is busy learning the skills she'll need for independence. Climbing trees is how she'll escape predators like leopards. But she's not taking her lessons seriously, and her antics are making her mother anxious. She'd prefer her daughter back on solid ground. The Giant Panda National Park is the last wild stronghold of these precious bears. 27,000 square kilometers of protected mountain habitat. And here, over the coming months, this devoted mother will teach her cub all the skills she needs to survive. In this natural panda paradise. China, home to 1.4 billion people, with some of the world's most populated cities, and its fastest growing economy. But far from the bright lights, there's another world. One where nature comes first. In 10 new national parks, China's unique wildlife and breathtaking ecosystems are being given unprecedented protection. Safeguarding an enchanted world. Across this vast country, some of the rarest species on Earth are finding sanctuary. Throughout China, people are rising to the challenge of caring for the natural world. Drawing on ancient wisdom to create a lasting harmony between man and nature. With rugged mountains and deep valleys, the central region of China is a landscape carved and nourished by fast-flowing water. Its forested peaks and secret bamboo-filled gorges serve as an ark for plant and animal life found nowhere else on Earth. To protect this unique landscape, 3 national parks have been created, including to the west of the region, the Giant Panda National Park, a vast sanctuary for bears. 400 kilometers to the east is its little sister, the Shenyongjia National Park, a jewel of plant and animal biodiversity. Studded with extraordinary limestone karst rock formations, it has the largest expanse of primary forest in central China, making it the perfect hideout for a species found only in this region. The golden snub-nosed monkey. This is the young and somewhat inexperienced leader of a small troop. They're a noisy, sociable, and occasionally quarrelsome family. The leader's job is to keep all the females and their babies safe, and above all, happy. But he's new to the role, and it's proving harder than he anticipated. The females are not easy to please. They demand constant attention. Their thick coats are made to withstand the tough mountain conditions and require daily grooming. If he doesn't indulge them sufficiently, they'll kick him out and replace him with a more attentive male. The females have him exactly where they want him. Autumn brings him an additional challenge. Winters here are harsh. If the family is to survive, they'll need to fatten up. The leader is feeling the pressure. He's found them a small piece of paradise. The forest's conifers produce a seasonal feast. Pine nuts are high in calories. Finally, the females are happy. And the leader can take a moment to relax. But his reverie is short-lived. A rival family. It's led by the largest, most aggressive male in the forest. This will be a test of the young leader's courage. The females expect him to defend the family. He puts on a show of bravado, but he knows he's in trouble. rival's strength and experience prevails. It's a humiliating defeat. The family must abandon their feast, and the leader will be expected to find alternative arrangements for his disappointed females. Fortunately for him, Shenyonja has just over 1,100 square kilometers of pristine and protected forest to forage in. Such is the richness and diversity of habitats in this national park that 87 protected species have found a safe haven here. One of the secrets of this ecological gem is water. Flowing down from the mountains, more than 300 pristine waterways carve their way through its limestone rock, giving sanctuary to a rare survivor from the time of the dinosaurs, the Chinese giant salamander. At almost 2 meters in length, it's the largest amphibian on the planet, dating back almost 200 million years. Hidden in a nearby rocky crevice are its 500 precious eggs. It's their father's job to watch over them. Salamanders absorb oxygen from the water through their skin, so he'll rarely need to surface during his 2-month vigil. It's breeding season, and other would-be parents are seeking nest holes. The father prepares to defend his family as another male approaches. He spits his stomach contents as a warning. If ignored, he'll attack. It's an effective deterrent. Inside their eggs, the babies prepare to hatch. These tiny salamanders have been known to live for around 50 years, but they rarely reach that grand age. Considered a delicacy in China, the species has been driven to the edge of extinction. But in these protected waterways, there's hope for the future of these extraordinary living fossils. It's not just Shenyonja's wildlife that makes this park so precious. Its mountain peaks and deep valleys are carpeted in a record-breaking 1,000 different tree species. And in autumn, they put on a dazzling display. Shenyonja is also China's ultimate hotspot for plant diversity, with almost 4,000 different species. Like generations before him, Shen Changbo has spent his whole life collecting healing plants in what is dubbed the Herbal Kingdom.
哎，你看，这个就是果肉黄，止血的。你看，老玩具。
70% of the species here have medicinal qualities. It's even named after Shenon, the legendary inventor of Chinese medicine. During autumn, there is a medicinal plant that Shen Changbo will go to extraordinary lengths to gather. The equipment required is simple: a leg ring, a homemade rattan rope, and nerves of steel. Below him is a 200-meter drop.
我们可以在那个岩壁上啊，就是荡过去荡过来，那都没得问题。
He's after one of China's most treasured medicinal plants. Shorehor boosts the body's immunity, but it grows only on high rock faces. To preserve the ecosystem, the national park has prohibited plant collecting. Shen can only go under license, sharing his finds for science and research.
鸦雀金，好，谢谢啊，好，你们慢走，辛苦了啊。
Now he's turned to cultivating medicinal plants in a rooftop garden and can reflect on the changes.
让青山呢，跟鱼啊，让子孙后代呢，让他们呢，来受益啊，来享受啊。
For the parks to be a long-term success, the local people must see the economic as well as the ecological benefits. Shen has participated in a huge government-backed rewilding scheme, compensating locals who return hilly agricultural land to nature. But striking a balance between the needs of man and nature is never easy. Nowhere is this clearer than in some of the towns that found themselves on the wrong side of the new park boundaries. One by one, whole communities are moving to purpose-built towns outside the national park. These ghostly streets will soon be demolished. The natural world is already reclaiming them. Testimony to the resilience of nature. To survive the extreme weather of this mountainous region, all species must be hardy. In the Giant Panda National Park, mountain peaks reach over 5,000 meters. And as winter sets in, temperatures drop to more than 20 degrees below zero. One of the park's most important residents is ready for this harsh season. Unlike most bear species, pandas don't need to hibernate. They have evolved to eat bamboo, which is available all year round. And nowhere is it more abundant than here. Although the hostile weather is tough on everyone, pandas are equipped to deal with it. Their thick, oily fur provides insulation and resists rain and snow. And with their bamboo diet being so low in calories, they preserve precious energy by spending up to 12 hours a day sleeping. "400 kilometers to the east, Shenyangjia's winter is equally challenging. Enduring around 150 days of snow a year, the monkey family rely on each other for warmth. The young male leader is tucked up with one of the females. But for solitary bachelor males, lacking the warm embrace of family, the cold is unrelenting. They are adapted for the freezing conditions. A snubbed nose prevents frostbite. Long top hairs protect a thick layer of downy undercoat. And the ability to walk upright saves bare fingers from the snow. The young leader's family are struggling to get enough to eat. Pine needles, bark, and even lichen just about keep hunger at bay. But it takes more than this to impress the females. Their young are hungry. The leader knows his position is becoming precarious. The bachelor males are looking for any opportunity to take his place. They keep a constant watch for signs that the females have had enough. A spat between two mothers shows tensions are reaching breaking point. The bachelors sense an opportunity. The leader prepares to meet his challenger. After his last defeat, this could be the final test of his leadership. The challenging bachelor is banished. Now the leader needs to win back the female's affections. A break in the weather lifts spirits. And Shenyangji is transformed into a winter wonderland. If the young leader can guide the family through the worst of the season, he'll be allowed to father the next generation in the spring. At last, winter loosens its grip. The landscape transforms. When the cub is weaned at around 18 months, they will separate, and the youngster must go it alone. But the forest has another bamboo specialist, the red panda. This high-wire acrobat spends 80% of its life in the canopy. In Mandarin, the word panda means bear cat. But red pandas are not related to either. They're in a family all of their own, with no living relatives. Their nearest fossil ancestors existed around 4 million years ago. What connects both panda species is an almost exclusively bamboo diet. Using a specially evolved, movable wrist bone to grip the stalks tightly, they eat a quarter of their body weight in bamboo leaves and shoots every day. This dependence makes habitat loss the biggest threat to this endangered species. So the national park's large swathes of wild bamboo forest offer the greatest hope for its future. Down on the forest floor, another of the region's protected species has more than just food on his mind. This male golden pheasant is hoping to attract a mate. In Chinese culture, they're considered to be an auspicious bird, a descendant of the mythical phoenix. Their stunning feathers have long been coveted by collectors. But living in this safe haven means he can deploy them for their real purpose: impressing a female. Fluffing out his facial feathers, he's doing his utmost to impress her, with little success. And now there's some rather cocky competition. All the jostling is undignified. The female makes her feelings clear, leaving the males more than a little crestfallen. When it comes to finding a mate, pandas also face challenges. Over past decades, roads have cut through the park, splitting up their territory, creating a death trap for any pandas wanting to get together and mate. Now some have rerouted into tunnels, and abandoned roads are being turned into wildlife-friendly highways. And love is in the air. This female panda has been advertising for a partner by leaving an irresistible trail of scent across the mountain. She's keen to see who's answered. She's only fertile for around 3 days a year, and this suitor has arrived early. He's desperate to tempt her down. But she'll stay put till she's perfectly fertile. He's just going to have to wait. Unfortunately for her suitor, competition has arrived. Fights like these ensure the females only get to mate with the strongest males. Her suitor returns triumphant. He's proved his strength. Now he must prove his patience. Females can stay in their trees for up to 6 days. For pandas, timing is everything. At last, his perseverance is rewarded. In the autumn, there'll be a new panda cub, a precious addition to their numbers. It will grow up in the safety of the park's protected forest. But it's not just its flagship species that benefit. Other rare and endangered animals thrive in this woodland sanctuary. These rangers are on an unusual mission, searching for a uniquely Chinese animal. It's secretive and elusive. The aptly named red and white giant flying squirrel. They glide through the forest using a parachute-like membrane, stretched from wrist to ankle either side of their meter-long body. Finding its home can be tricky. Their exact whereabouts is only given away by the very thing the rangers are after: their dung. Creatures of habit, they always go in the same place, possibly as a way of marking their territory. For centuries, their droppings were collected for its medicinal value as pain relief, which also gave the squirrels protection, making them too valuable to hunt. Now the rangers analyze the nutrients it contains to assess the health of the forest. This strange activity might leave the squirrels bemused, but rangers like these help maintain this wildlife paradise. For Shenonjia, this is also a time of plenty. The young male has clung on to his tenuous position as leader of the snub-nosed monkey family. Finally, his whole troop seemed content. And a few weeks ago, he became a new father. His daughter is already starting to explore. Newborns always attract intense attention. Youngsters are fascinated by her. Whilst older females vie to babysit. Competition over the newborn is getting dangerous. The leader doesn't like what he's seeing. Mother's had enough. It's time to step in. By devoting himself to his females and putting family first, this young leader has secured his place as head of the family. His offspring brings hope for the future of the whole family, who can thrive in this little piece of paradise. Shenonjia National Park. In the giant panda national park, the young panda is also finding her place in the world. Now almost 2 years old, she's finally separated from her mother and is living independently. Although pandas lead largely solitary lives, she's never really alone. Panda conservation means her entire ecosystem and all its animals are protected. More than anything, nature needs space to grow. The wild giant panda population has nearly doubled since the 1980s. There are now more than 1,800 pandas in the wild. By reconnecting habitats and balancing the needs of humans and nature, the future for this young panda is brighter than ever.